4 parks in one day with 3 kids. What were we thinking? Hi friends, welcome back to Moms Make It Magical, where I share our family travels to Disney and beyond as a neurodivergent family. In this video, I'm taking you along on one of our most ambitious Disney days ever when we somehow ended up visiting all 4 Disney World theme parks in a single day. Now, before anyone thinks this was some carefully planned challenge, it really wasn't. We only had one park day during this trip, and everyone had different things they really wanted to do that were kind of spread across all 4 parks. So we thought, why not see if we can make it happen? Be sure to stick around to the end and I'll let you know whether I'd actually recommend doing 4 parks in one day. If you're new here, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoy realistic Disney tips, especially if you're a family traveling with neurodivergent kids. Before we jump into the day, here's a bit of background info. Disney World has 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, and a huge shopping and entertainment district called Disney Springs. It is huge. Since we only had one park day, we purchased park hopper tickets, which let us visit multiple parks in a single day. We also bought Lightning Lane Multi-Pass for Animal Kingdom because it's typically one of the less expensive parks to purchase it for, and since Animal Kingdom opens the earliest, we wanted to start our day there. My 3 pre-selections were Navi River Journey, Kilimanjaro Safaris, and Cali River Rapids, although I did end up modifying Cali River Rapids once we scanned into our first Lightning Lane. My goal was to get the earliest Lightning Lanes possible, and I also want to remind you that you have the option of purchasing your Lightning Lanes 7 days before your trip if you are a Disney Resort guest, or 3 days before your trip if you are staying off-site. With that said, let's get started with our adventure. We got on the bus from Wilderness Lodge to head to Animal Kingdom. And after arriving and scanning into the park, we headed straight to our first Lightning Lane at Kilimanjaro Safaris. One thing to note about park hopping is that you do have to go through security and scanning your magic bands each time, so that always takes a little bit of extra time to go through that process for each park. As you can see, the standby line for Kilimanjaro Safari was pretty long at this time, so I was really thankful that we ended up purchasing Lightning Lane Multi-Pass. As soon as we scanned in at Safaris, I grabbed a Lightning Lane for Soarin' Across America at Epcot on the My Disney Experience app. So that's one of the biggest advantages of using Lightning Lane Multi-Pass with Park Hopper. You can actually start booking available attractions in the other parks once you've used that first reservation. We ended up sitting in the back row of the safari, which gave us some really nice unobstructed views of the animals. After we finished the first attraction, we made our way over to Pandora. I really like this walking path from the Africa section of the park to Pandora. It's usually pretty quiet and never too crowded. And it's always fun to see some animal friends along the way. We stopped for a late breakfast at Satuli Canteen. This is open all day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's actually one of the few quick service dining options at Animal Kingdom that has indoor seating, and you know how important that is in Florida heat. We finished up breakfast as quickly as we could before using our lightning lane for Navi River Journey and our single pass for Flight of Passage. We actually split up for this. I took my boys on Navi River Journey while my husband and daughter did Flight of Passage. It's another reminder that it's okay to split up your family if people want to do different things. While scanning into Navi River Journey, I picked up a lightning lane for Rock and Roller Coaster later that afternoon at Hollywood Studios. Before leaving Animal Kingdom, we also stopped to play around with these drums in Pandora, which is such a fun little interactive area. Then it was time to head to our second park. We took the bus to Epcot from Animal Kingdom, which landed us at the front entrance of the park. We started with Spaceship Earth using the standby line. This is the first major attraction that you see as soon as you enter through the front entrance, and it's a favorite for all of my kids, so it was an easy yes. After finishing the ride, we also spent some time in Project Tomorrow, which is at the exit of Spaceship Earth. This is really one of those OG Epcot attractions, but my kids love it every single time. From there, we headed to Goofy Core at Communicore Hall, which is a special offering they have during the summer. My kids honestly weren't that interested in participating in it, but it did give us all a chance to cool off indoors for a little while. From there, we headed over to the land pavilion, parked the stroller, and grabbed a late lunch at Sunshine Seasons before using our lightning lane for soaring across America. One thing I want to point out here is that we actually spent well over an hour inside the land pavilion between having lunch, sitting down, and then riding the different attractions. I really think this was one of the biggest reasons our day was successful. We weren't constantly rushing from one thing to the next, especially during a Florida summer. Just giving everyone a chance to sit indoors and recharge and just exist for a little while made a huge difference. I do want to note that the version of soaring at the time of filming this video is a special one that was made for the 250th celebration of the USA. My older two kids actually enjoyed this version more than soaring around the world, which has more startling transitions between scenes. After soaring, we rode Living with the Land using the standby line. As you can see, it was basically a walk on, and it's another more chill attraction, all while staying indoors.
Learning how to increase yields of these staples is an important goal of research.
As we started walking toward the International Gateway to head to Hollywood Studios, our youngest spotted the playground, so of course we had to let him play for about 15 to 20 minutes before continuing on our way. We also got to spot a Canadian band performing at the Canada Pavilion on our way out, and it was extra special because we were here on Canada Day. We were trying to decide whether to take the Skyliner or the boat to Hollywood Studios, but there was already a boat at the Epcot stop, so we just went with that option. The boat route goes from Epcot to Boardwalk to Yacht and Beach Club to Swan and Dolphin, and then finally Hollywood Studios. It's not the fastest mode of transportation, but it's still pretty relaxing. This was the stack of lightning lanes I had heading into Hollywood Studios, but it ended up being our shortest stop of the day. We headed straight to our first lightning lane for a rock and roller coaster featuring the Muppets. I was really excited to see the updates, as this used to be themed around Aerosmith. On our way there, our youngest had fallen asleep in the stroller, so while he napped, we took turns riding rock and roller coaster. It was our 9-year-old's first time on an upside-down roller coaster, which was a big highlight. After the big kids had their turn with my husband, they had ice cream while I went on to ride alone. It was time for some much needed rest, so we didn't end up using those other lightning lanes, which is totally fine, and we headed back to Wilderness Lodge on the bus. I honestly don't think we would have made it through the rest of the night if we hadn't gone back to the resort. We spent a few hours just resting in our room at Wilderness Lodge, and the kids watched TV, everyone had some screen time, we made Korean cup noodles for dinner, and we just relaxed. It wasn't anything particularly memorable, but it was very much needed. Then we took the boat over to Magic Kingdom to take advantage of extended evening hours. By the time we arrived at Magic Kingdom, a lot of the guests were waiting for the Starlight Nighttime Parade to start. We decided to skip watching the parade and get on some attractions instead. We weaved around sort of the backside of Fantasyland, hitting different attractions, and came around towards Tomorrowland and towards the front of the park. The waits were all pretty low by this point as it transitioned to extended evening hours, which is a perk for guests staying at deluxe hotels. Cast members made sure to check by scanning our magic bands before entering the queue. Using standby only, we rode It's a Small World, Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, with a quick little peek at the play area here, the Barnstormer, the Mad Tea Party, while also catching glimpses of the Happily Ever After fireworks, Tomorrowland Speedway, and finally Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin before finally calling it a night. Barnstormer was especially memorable because it was our youngest's very first roller coaster ride, even though he hated it. And it was also really fun getting to see the recent updates to Buzz Lightyear. Our family loves any interactive gaming type of attraction, so Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin was an absolute must. And we were so lucky that the wait time was less than 30 minutes posted, and we really didn't have to wait that long. We were really hoping to try Tron at night, but everyone was so tired that it wasn't worth it. We took the boat back to Wilderness Lodge, and it made me so thankful to not be staying at a monorail resort because the lines for the monorail always look so horrendous at the end of the night. It was so much more chill on a boat. So here's a quick overview, recap of the day, all the things that we did at each of the parks. Altogether, we did 13 attractions total and had 2 quick service meals in the parks. So would I recommend visiting all 4 Disney World parks in one day? If this is your very first Disney World vacation, my answer is definitely no. There is so much to see and experience in each park already, and I think your first trip is better spent slowing down and really taking it all in instead of spending so much of your day traveling between parks and navigating transitions. You can clearly see that a lot of time was spent on Disney transportation, moving from spot to spot. But if you've been to Disney before and you're comfortable using Lightning Lane MultiPass, you have park hopper tickets or an annual pass, and there are just a few specific experiences you want from each park, then I think it could be a really fun challenge. What surprised me most is that we didn't make this day work by trying to maximize every single minute. We made it work because we intentionally built in time to rest. We sat down for meals instead of eating while walking. We spent over an hour inside the land pavilion escaping the heat. We let our littlest play at the playground when he wanted to, and we also spent a couple hours back at our hotel for a real break before finishing the night at Magic Kingdom. If I learned anything from this day, it's that visiting 4 parks in one day isn't really about moving as fast as possible. It's about knowing when to slow down so everyone still has the energy to enjoy the next park. After having done this once, I don't think I'll be quick to do it again unless the kids really wanted to, which I don't think they will, at least not in the near future. If you've ever tried all 4 parks in one day, I'd love to hear how it went. Let me know down in the comments. And if you're planning your own Disney World vacation, don't forget to subscribe for more realistic Disney tips, park strategies, and sensory-friendly resources for traveling with kids. Thanks so much for watching, and let's keep making magical memories with our families.